Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma. This channel is called Perfumerism and today we're going to talk about the new Everyday Luxuries collection from B&BW, which is the perfect dupes for designer and niche perfumes apparently. I have the entire collection. So this collection was originally released around the beginning of the year and it was a US only collection, so us Canadians couldn't get our hands on it, and I actually drove across the border to the States to try to get my hands on it and they were all sold out. So this is really exciting. Now they're available in Canada so we can get our hands on them and I'm very excited about that. So I'm going to tell you which ones they have. So there are 10 fragrances here and they're all dupes and apparently they're really, really good. I've already smelled a few and so far they are incredible. I already have a few favorites. So if you're looking for a perfect dupe, I'm going to compare them all and let's get into it. First of all, let's start out with a fragrance that I love called Petal Parade. This one is a dupe from Prada Paradox and when I smelled it, I knew immediately. So I have my Prada Paradox bottle here, and if you didn't know, one of my favorite designer perfumes is Prada Paradox Intense. I think that it is the most beautiful blend of something that's fresh, a little citrusy, very juicy and whole. The original Prada Paradox was never a huge favorite of mine, but I love the Intense. The exposure was so high. I don't know why the exposure wanted to be so high today. Okay, so this fragrance has neroli petals, orange flowers, and white wood notes. So let's smell it and compare it to Prada Paradox. Information about me, I have always been a really stingy fragrance YouTuber because for several years I was just a viewer. I'm very picky with what I say is a good dupe, especially when it comes to fragrances that I really, really like. So a disclaimer when it comes to these fragrances, these are body mist. So we're looking at like 1%, 2%, 5% perfume oil in here. This is not a strong concentrated fragrance. This formula is not going to be long lasting. And so if any of you guys in my comments are going to ask, is it equally as long lasting? The answer is no. I'm more assessing if the fragrances are comparable. If any of these fragrances are exceptionally long lasting, I will flag that in my reviews, but just know that these fragrances are not going to be that way just because that's not really what they're trying to be. Okay, so here I have Petal Parade and here I have Prada Paradox. These are so similar, it's literally crazy. Like when I smell them side to side, there's more oomph in Prada Paradox, but God, this is similar. It's like 9 out of 10, honestly probably a 10 out of 10 if they weren't side by side. This I get more of a fruity note. I actually really do like Prada Paradox. I don't know why I didn't like it when it was first released. Like I didn't like it for like a year until I got into Paradox Intense and now I'm like, okay, Prada Paradox is my vibe. This perfume is so good and it's so similar to Prada Paradox. Clapping, loving, 10 out of 10. Also, do you guys like this perfume? I know it was like a huge launch, but I don't know. Are people liking this? What do you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments below. 10 out of 10. Let's go on to the next one. So this fragrance is called Viva Vanilla and I've heard that it's either a dupe for Billie Eilish's fragrance Eilish and I've also heard it's a good dupe for Sniff's fragrance Vanilla Vice. Now Sniff's fragrances retail for like $65. You can get 10% off with them at 10 and this is $19 at Bath & Body Works American. So this is a lot cheaper, but let's compare them. I find it interesting that they would dupe a fragrance that's already relatively affordable, but the Viva Vanilla perfume is really pretty. It's literally just vanilla. It does have a bit of that woody kind of background. Vanilla Vice is really woody. I remember there being this kind of off-putting wood note. I like Viva Vanilla better. They're very, very similar. I would say like 8 out of 10 similarity, but I like this one better. There is kind of like something off-putting to the vanilla note in Vanilla Vice. I don't really know why. I can't really put my finger on it, but there's something I don't like about that. It is a really pretty perfume though. But there's something like alcohol-y, like beer I smell in the background. But this one's just straight vanilla, straight sailing, straight beautiful, great vanilla fragrance. I put this on today and it really lasted on me. It lasted several hours on me and I wore it to the gym and it performed the whole time I was at the gym. So slay. I had like 2 sprays on. So I really, really like the Viva Vanilla. If you like gourmand fragrances, vanilla fragrances, this is a really good option. I know there's so many vanilla options out there. So if you don't feel the need to get a new vanilla body mist, don't get it. You don't need anything new. I'm not here to influence you on something you're not already really looking for. And I do think it's a great option. And if you're looking for a budget vanilla scent, this one's delicious. I think it's so pretty. The next fragrance that we have is called Getaway Soirée. And I actually picked this up when I was in New York a few months ago in like May or something. Because originally when I told you that I went to the States and I tried to buy these perfumes and they were sold out, there was actually just one left and it was this one and I really liked it. So I don't know why this was kind of the last one that didn't sell. This makes me think I'm at an amusement park, like a water park, a musky tuberose scent, and it really takes me back to Waterworld in Concord, California. My mom just put suntan lotion on me and I just went up the slide by myself and I'm waiting to ride down this water ride. Like it smells like sunscreen, sunlight on a beach. It's really musky. There is kind of a scent and it's floral. This is not your coconut summery scent, it's your floral summer scent. I think this is just gorgeous and stunning. I did like their vacation collection a little better, which were their Sol de Janeiro dupes. I found this perfume was very, very similar to the Solar Radiance or something like that, but I liked the Solar Radiance better. So this one, I wouldn't say you need to go out and buy. I mean, I bought it, I like it a lot, but after wearing it a while, I kind of realized, oh, I actually have better perfumes in my collection than this, but I do think it's really pretty. So it's good. I think this is a dupe for Soleil Blanc, Tom Ford Soleil Blanc, as well as Beach Walk. I used to sell Soleil Blanc at work. This fragrance I find is almost a little more likable than Soleil Blanc because Soleil Blanc had a lot of aromatic notes, like I'm an herb bush, and that fragrance did have the coconut and neroli. You know what? I really like this perfume. I don't have Soleil Blanc, so I can't speak to exactly if it's like 100% a dupe. I'd maybe give it a 7 out of 10, but I love this DNA. I hardly ever reach for tropical fragrances. I don't really know why, but I do think this one's so pretty. And I love the nostalgic scent that reminds me of Waterworld. And I wore this when I visited the Maker Hotel back in February, so it does have sentimental feelings. So I would give this a 7.9 out of 10. As for longevity, not exceptional, not horrible, just fine, like a few hours. Next fragrance that we have is called Oh Cherry, and this is supposed to be a dupe for Lost Cherry, except it's not. A lot of the people in Fragrantica have said that this actually smells more like Sabrina Carpenter's new fragrance, Cherry Baby, which is also not available in Canada. Now, I do not own Lost Cherry. I own many cherry fragrances. I have the Kayali scent, I have the Seven Virtues cherry perfume, and I do actually also have the Oil Perfumery Lost Cherry dupe, so I think I might actually compare these two. Obviously, I can't make conclusions about Lost Cherry based on this, but I've heard that this is a very, very, very close dupe, so I will tell you how close this is. Oh my gosh, is the oil that dark? Is that the oil? That is disgusting. It's really strong. Yeah, I'm not putting that on my skin. See, this is why I don't talk about oil perfumery. I ordered a bunch of samples from them. Like, I guess it's been a few years. I don't know if they're meant to keep for several years, but like they're oil, you know what I mean? Like they're supposed to be relatively stable. It smells good. Very, very sour cherry. Oh, this is like musk. The Lost Cherry is taking me to like bitter orange, bitter cherry, very sour, very tart. And then this is just musk. It's TV static. This fragrance is lost. Yeah, this is like a cherry bubble bath, which you'd think smells good, but I just find it's like kind of musky. Like it's like lost in the bubbles. Like the cherry is not, it's like a cherry soda, but it's gone flat. It's musky. It's not bad, it's just not, this is better. Or well, like more cherry-like. Yeah, it might be the magnolia that's giving me this like floral note. I'd say that Oh Cherry for me is a pass. I was kind of probably the most disappointed in this one. If you want a good cherry perfume, Cherry Ambition from the Seven Virtues is my favorite. It's a cherry fragrance with a marshmallow note. So it's really like sour, tart, juicy, mouth-watering cherry with a fluffy marshmallow background. I actually had to swallow just now. It's incredible. You guys, I am just flying through these. Okay, next up we have a fragrance called Lost in Santal, which is obviously a fragrance that's supposed to smell like Santal 33, which again, I do not have that fragrance. I have smelled it many a time, so I'll give you my opinion based off of my experience with Santal 33. I'm actually gonna put it on skin too. Now, I will tell you, I'm not the biggest Santal 33 fan, so this fragrance by default would not get more than like a 6 out of 10 for me, just based on the fact of it's not my kind of scent. No, immediately no. This fragrance is not good. Love me a sandalwood. I don't know why Santal 33 doesn't work for me. It's something about the specific combination of notes that I do get that pickle smell. This is not good. Sandalwood has so many beautiful facets. There's a milky facet to sandalwood, there's a creamy facet, there's a dry facet, there's a nutty facet, and this is just weird. This one just does not smell good. So I would say 100% Santal 33 is better than this. Again, I'm not even the biggest Santal 33 fan. To the untrained nose, to the average person, if you spray this, immediately you do get a Santal 33-esque scent. But on skin, it's like if you get close to it, it's not good. It's not good. Like you could maybe smell good in the air, but if you put your skin too close to your face, it does not smell good. So Lost in Santal is probably a 1 out of 10 for me. Next up we have On the Horizon, which is a dupe for Sailing Day from Replica. It's apparently also a dupe for Ocean de Joya from Giorgio Armani, which is a super fresh, soapy, fruity scent. And then Sailing Day is like really aquatic. So apparently this is a dupe for both, somewhere in the middle. Now I've wear tested this, and you know when you smell something and you walk away and you're like, I have nothing to say, because this is a perfume that I just had nothing to say about. So I don't own Acqua di Gioia, nor do I own Sailing Day. They're both good fragrances. They're not super me, but I worked as a sales associate for about 3 years, and Acqua di Gioia was one of the fragrances that I had and I interacted with and sold on a regular basis, so I'm quite familiar with that one. And Sailing Day I used to have a sample of, and I recently decluttered it. So I am familiar with both of these fragrances. I just can't compare them side to side right now, so do keep that in mind. I get like watermelon. I don't know why I get watermelon in here. This is the scent that like a mom would spray in her bathroom. Like I would give this to my mom to just keep in the bathroom and spritz around. It's that kind of fresh, fruity, aromatic scent. I get that sharp aldehyde note. Apparently there's wood and moss in here. I don't get that. I get like a tart bergamot, and I do get that kind of soapy lotus. It's actually quite pretty. I think this would be nice in a candle or like a cleaning product. It's not the kind of thing I would wear. This does not smell like Acqua di Gioia, as in terms of dupes, maybe like this is more of like an alternative than a dupe to Acqua di Gioia. This fragrance has like a tart fragrance. So like Acqua di Gioia is very fruity. It's not citrusy, like it's more fruit. It's like if you took Acqua di Gioia and then squeezed a whole lemon into it. So that's kind of what it smells like. This doesn't smell like Sailing Day either. Sailing Day has a fresh breeze kind of feeling, like the salt is hitting your skin when you're on a boat and you're whale watching. I'm not getting that from this. I'm getting bathroom and grapefruit and lemon. And it's not my vibes. It's not bad. It's just not a favorite. So I'd give it maybe like a 4 out of 10. Next up, we have a dupe for a fragrance that was my favorite in 2021. And this is called Flower Bomb by Viktor and Rolf. And the dupe is called Floral Fantasy. As you can tell, I've had my Flower Bomb for a little while. She has gained some color. This fragrance has tea, patchouli, and this is kind of like the celebrity pop girl signature scent because Ariana Grande used to wear it, Taylor Swift used to wear it. I'm just convinced that this is the fragrance that you need to wear at some point in your life if you want to be a famous pop star. This fragrance is very romantic. I had a lot of people who would come in and get it for a girlfriend, so a lot of men would choose to pick this fragrance out. It's super long lasting because it has that earthy base with patchouli. Even with me, who's not a big patchouli fan, I really do get that kind of fresh tea note, which is really pretty in here, and a sweet candy vibe. It's not extremely floral to my nose. It's truly a floral vanilla perfume. Now let's try Floral Fantasy. This is identical. These are perfect dupes. This is a perfect dupe. Is it gonna last you as long? No, it's not gonna last as long. This is not gonna be as long lasting as Flower Bomb. You're gonna need to decant this, bring it everywhere you go, but it's really similar. Obviously, Flower Bomb is, again, a little more fleshed out, a little more nuanced. There's more perfume oil, so you're getting all the facets, but this is identical. I'd say 9 out of 10. Very, very good. Big fan. Perfect date night scent. If you're looking for one of these, like date night, I don't know. I see this as like a really cute high school perfume. College, I wore this in college in my upper years too, so I do think that it's a pretty perfume. Okay, next up, we're gonna try another fragrance that is a dupe for a designer perfume, and this is called Pink Obsessed. This is Pink Obsessed, and this is Valentino Donna Born in Roma, and back when I worked as a sales associate, this was one of the best-selling designer perfumes. Whenever I had people coming in, they wanted a gift for someone or they wanted a signature scent. This was one that I found the most likable. So in YouTuber terms, this is the one that I would say is maybe more blind buy safe. I don't like saying that. I do not want to recommend you guys blind buy any of these, but that's the kind of vibe. It's a very likable DNA. It's kind of fruity, a little woody. It's a little floral, a little woody, a little vanilla, just the perfect perfume. Okay, and I'm holding the wrong one. This is the Coral Fantasy. Give me 1 second. This is Donna Born in Roma, obviously, because it has the pink. I have the whole collection. I have all of these if you want a video of me breaking down the differences between them. Fragrance to me smells kind of like a lipstick. Like, you know how like Lancome lipsticks and a lot of lipsticks have this kind of irisy, it's so good. It just smells pink. Like it just smells so good. And I think it makes so much sense that the fragrance would be called Pink Obsessed. This is one where I do think the dupe is not 100%. I think the dupe is a little more dreamy smelling. Like it's kind of more in the background. Wait, I lost the dupe. There's more jasmine in this one. These two smell different. I actually just can't remember which one's which. The body spray really smells like jasmine, like pure jasmine, and I'm not the biggest jasmine girl. If you like jasmine, go for it, but I really smell the jasmine that you have in Alien. It's very similar to, like, this is almost like Alien mixed with Born in Roma. So not as big of a fan of this one, unfortunately, because this is one of my favorite designer perfumes. Definitely an option, but I would say in terms of a dupe, maybe like a 6 out of 10, but this perfume I would give a 10 out of 10. All right, the next fragrance that we have is called You Musk, and this is supposed to be a dupe for Glossier You. I've also heard people say it's a dupe for Another 13. Either way, it's supposed to be a dupe for these musky fragrances. I don't like Glossier You. I actually was offered a partnership with them and I turned them down because the fragrance does not work on me. It's a perfume that I love for other people. It's actually, I put my best friend on it, so it's her signature scent. So it's the signature scent of a lot of friends around me, and I'm happy recommending it to others, but it just doesn't work on my skin. And so this perfume I didn't think was gonna be my favorite, and happily for me, this smells so much better than Glossier You. If you want a perfect dupe, you will be disappointed because I get pear. This perfume smells like a pear. Iris, pear. This fragrance smells to me like white rice from Danam. I get the beautiful starchy rice and orris notes from white rice from Danam. If you don't know that brand, they're Vietnamese and they have a fragrance called White Rice, and it is the most beautiful, fresh, musky iris scent. And this is kind of what it smells like. This fragrance has a background of fluffy pear, but the foreground is that iris. Like if your nose isn't very trained, you might think this smells like Glossier You. I don't. I really get a lot of pencil shavings in Glossier You that I don't get here. So this one is more iris and less ambroxan or ISOE Super, which is perfect for me. I like this so much better. And I would give this one a 10 out of 10. I loved this one. I think it's amazing. And it was one of my favorites. Like when I smelled this, I was obsessed with it. And finally, the very last one that we have is called Covered in Roses, which is a dupe for Delina from Parfum de Marly. This is a huge deal for me because I historically have been very, very harsh when it comes to Parfum de Marly Delina dupes. Delina is my favorite perfume. It's the perfume that got me into niche fragrances. It was my first niche fragrance. And so I'm very familiar with how Delina smells. I've smelled it on me, I've smelled it on my friends, I've smelled it on strangers. I can recognize it. I can also recognize how long ago you sprayed Delina, because one of my favorite things about Delina is it smells so expensive and complex, all right? When you spray it, the immediate opening is that tart lychee that sometimes put people off, but after that, you get the most beautiful, like the rhubarb goes in the background, then you get more of the beautiful florals and the petalia and the cashmere. And then when your day is over and you smell the fragrance left over in your clothing, it is heavenly. And it smells different. It's like softer, more plush, more girly, and just addictive. Like the fragrance takes you through a journey. You are discovering it the entire day long. And the fragrance will last you the entire day, plus however long it takes you to wash your clothes. I've taken clothing out of the washer and still smelled Delina on it. Like it is one of the most long lasting fragrances, and it is so complex and beautiful and intricate, and I love Delina. And because of that, obviously I am influencing people on Delina. Emma 10 for 10% off if you want to sample at Twisted Lily. So I've influenced a lot of people on Delina, but that's really expensive. Like I bought my bottle, it costs like almost $400. It's really, really expensive. So even though I'm a big fan of Delina, I'm gonna be just as big a fan if there's a perfect dupe. You know what I mean? So I've ordered so many dupes. I've spent my money on, I've tried Okcha, I've tried Oil Perfumery, I've tried Alt, I've tried Maison Alhambra. I have tried every Delina fragrance, none of them. And a lot of people think I'm really harsh or like I'm really strict, but I would hate for someone to buy one of these and then judge Delina based off of that, because they're just not doing Delina justice. Like for me, sure, you can buy one and it's similar enough that you can get like a similar vibe, but if you buy that and you're like, oh, I don't like Delina, then it's just not fair to me. Tell me why, of all the brands that exist, the best Delina dupe that I have found is from Bath & Body Works. And this fragrance, sure, you're not getting the same complexity and intricacy as Delina, but it is really long lasting. Again, body mist. How did they do that? Maybe I just have a really sensitive nose, but this fragrance projects like Delina does. You might need a few more sprays, but I can smell this from far away. They're so similar. They're so similar. Obviously, Delina's beautiful and perfect and 11 out of 10, but this is a 10. This is a 10, this is incredible. I did not think that the best Delina dupe I would ever find is from Bath & Body Works. Color me impressed. I wanna shake the perfumer's hand who made this. This is incredible. Again, it's a body mist, 1 to 5% perfume oil. It is never going to be a Delina, but if you're on a budget, it's incredible. This is a fragrance that I feel comfortable with someone who's never smelled Delina buying this and judging Delina based off of this. Like you can buy this and think, you know what, I don't think I'd like Delina. And you probably wouldn't, because I do think that the best Delina dupe I've ever smelled. And it actually did make me think, why did I buy Delina? 10 out of 10, so good. Thank you all so much for watching. Also shout out Jerf Avenue. I bought this robe after coming back, actually before coming back from Sweden. I was so inspired, and I know that it's technically a pajama set, but I just love how luxurious I feel in this pajama. So that was my thoughts on the Bath & Body Works dupe collection. Let me know if you guys have tried this, which ones you're interested in picking up. And thanks so much for following me. If you like this video, or if you didn't like this video, feel free to like it. Please subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.